Welcome back everyone and welcome to World of Warship. This video is most for the new players who probably like to know from, big YouTubers and the people who have a huge experience in playing Destroyer, which Destroyer is the best. And I'm not talking about the tier 10 one, I'm actually comparing most of the Destroyers for the tier 9. I believe the tier 9 is kind of a sweet spot in today's meta. You will face a lot of times tier 8 and tier 7, and for that reason I believe, guys, even though your underdog faces the tier 10, the tier 9 destroyer are so potent and strong, you can handle the storm, you can deal with that. I'm serious, there is not big difference between tier 9 and tier 10, and I believe in today's meta they are the powerhouse. I'm talking about the matchmaking. Many times I've been playing the tier 10 and there was all ships were tier 10, and many times then I playing the tier 9 I facing tier 7s and tier 8s. So the tier 9s are the way to go. So I will compare all those 6 destroyers. The only 2 missing is the Pain Asia destroyer, which is a Fletcher copy-paste destroyer, more or less, with deep water torps, and the Traskent, which is especially, shall I say, gunboat little brother of Kaba. You shooting, you're constantly moving, you almost never use the torps. In this video I will compare the new oncoming build and the torpedoes. So overall I would like to say that I put those 6 destroyers in 3 categories: the Mogador, the Udaloy, and Kitakaze. I only build, let's talk about the modules. I only went for the pure gunboat. You're doing something wrong if you build anything else beside aiming and gun. Main battery modification 3, all of them, they have the same build for Mogador, Udaloy, and Kitakaze. However, for the Fletcher, Z46, and Jutland, they are hybrids. I believe, in my honestly opinion, with Fletcher, you are most likely that you will do more damage with your torpedo than, let's say, guns. Even if you have lucky you that you just farm left and right with your guns, because the guns are reloading fast and it's a good chance to put your enemy on fire. But most, let's say, if you play 100 battles, where is the damage? The damage are from the torpedo with Fletcher. And same story, guys, with Jutland and Z46, because they are the one who's giving this surprise, here's my torps. So in the next patch, all destroyer, they receive this plus 5% in torpedo speed, which in my regular live server, this is a PTS by the way, I do know that it's for fact the 65 knots, that it's my torpedo, but in the next patch there'll be 69 with this build. So 69 torpedoes and reload pretty ridiculous fast, 81.1 second. It's pretty nifty, and you have 10 of them. However, the new king in reload, it's of course Z46. Z46, it's jack of all trade, master of none of what I explain you. Only have 8 torpedoes, which is very mediocre for its tier. Don't get me wrong, this ship, it's lovely and I highly recommend, but your torpedo damage, it's not near Kitakaze or Fletcher, which both of them, Kitakaze has the highest 23,000 damage per torpedo. Second one, it's the Fletcher with a whopping 19,000, I do believe, 33 damage, and on the third it's actually the Mogador's 18,000 damage. So what makes all those 3 ships, I'm talking about Kitakaze's, Fletcher's, and Mogador's torps, that you don't want to eat more than maximum 2 torpedo hits. If you eat more than 2 torpedo hits, you're history. They hit like a damn trucks and they are speed. I mean, seriously, the Mogador's has 75 knots, the Fletcher's new oncoming patch also have close to 70 knots, and what do you know, Z46, what kind of speed do we talking about? 70 knots. Literally all those 3 ships close to 70 knots, and Mogador, I do believe it's faster, right? 75 knots. Yeah, 75 knots. So good luck dodging that, guys. And they hit extremely hard. Matter of fact, Fletchers and Mogadors are the most hard-hitting, shall I say, because you have 10 torpedoes and 10 torpedoes for Fletchers, and Jutland, you also have 10 torpedoes. Of some strange reason, the fastest reload, number one in the how fast you reload, it's Z46. You only have 8 of them, and the damage is only 14,400, which is the lowest of all destroyers of some very strange reason, even lower than Udaloy. But you have fast torpedo and you are crazy fast. So you only have 8, so don't expect you can create a huge amount of wall, you know what I mean. You may argue that Kitakaze also only have 6, but Kitakaze, if you right now send those 6 torpedoes, right, you have you press this torpedo rearmed. In just a couple more seconds you have 6 more, so at least you can create a 12 torpedo wall at the same time, but then you have to wait long time for torpedo to reload. So that's the reason you cannot speed away this 171 reload of those torpedoes. Same story is with Udaloy. It takes ages, more than 2 minutes to reload those 15 torpedo, 129 seconds to reload all those 15 torps. They are good, and I would like to say that all those 6 ships, they have one thing in common: they can stealth Thorpe. Not by much by Mogador, because Mogador and Udaloy has close. You have to come extremely darn close. I'm talking about 500 meter detection by sea with concealment expert, with concealment everything and camo. 7.5 your torpedo, or 8 kilometers torpedoes. You see, and same story it's with Udaloy. Udaloys you can also stealth Fort, but you're not talking about more than 800 meters. 7.2 it's your detection and torpedo, or 8 kilometers. However, you can create such a good looking, you have the most torpedo of all tier 9 destroyers, 15 of them. You can send 10, and then you can change your side and send 5 more. So yeah, you can create such a ridiculous big wall of torps. But then you have to wait a lot, and I'm talking about more than 2 minutes to reload those torps. So that's the reason I'm not even bothered to put anything upgrade, everything guns, nothing about the torpedoes. So overall, guys, what should I say about the tier 9? Before we jump over, it's that you have to keep that in mind, guys, that the stealthiest destroyer in the entire competition, all those 6, it does have the Jutland. Jutland has only 5.7, and something else about the destroyer, it's agile. It's like a Cossack. You turn on a dime, it's not easy to eat torps, because this ship, together with Fletcher, is the most maneuverable destroyer of all destroyers in the entire game, probably with the Asian copy-paste Fletcher, because I believe, guys, I did not put them because the deep water torps has nothing to go, destroyer versus destroyer, and all those 3, they are kind of strong in guns and torpedo. If you are a battleship, you don't want to eat too many of those torpedoes because you'll be dead. And same story if you are a Japanese destroyer, and also did not put Yugomo as well, because they cannot fight any of those 6 torpedoes. They are strong. They are strong because they have a lot of firepower, a lot of daka. And the guns reload pretty darn fast, 4 seconds. Fletcher has 3 seconds. Kitakaze have 2.4 seconds, and also Udaloy, it's not bad, but the thing is, which makes is 4 seconds, so it's not bad. A Japanese destroyer or Pan-Asian destroyer has nothing to do with those 3. Those 6. Those 6 will melt you like there's no one's business. And now they are all different playstyle, because let's face it, if you play Udaloy and if you try to cap, you're doing something wrong, because your concealment, it's too crap to cap. It's same story, it's actually with Mogador. But the rest of them, the Fletcher, Kitakaze, Z46 and Jutland, you want to cap because you have crazy good concealment, and if another destroyer, which is probably it's a Shima or whatever it is, it's toast if they facing you. So I believe, guys, that's also the reason I put those three. Sure, I could put Yugomos, but Yugomos more a torpedo boat, not crazy a hybrid boat like those six. And don't get me wrong, the Mogador's playstyle is very unique. You are more like a support, but the same story it's with Udaloy. However, you do have sometimes opportunity to stealth torp and do significant damage to your opponents. Remember that this ship has been nerfed just in the last patch, because this had even better concealment, even more potent, strong. And I liked from Wargaming that all these 6 ships, they are so darn unique. They are different gameplay. Which is the best? Well, it's hard. It's extremely hard. I would like to say that, in my honestly opinion, it's the Kitakaze and Fletcher are very close. But overall, I would like to say the closest competitor, it's actually Fletcher and Jutland, because they don't have so many weakness. They have very few weakness. And one thing I would like to also mention, the French destroyer line have one huge of advantage. They cannot put the smoke. The rest of all have smoke. And something else, guys, it's all about the AA. The AA, what AA for the French one? The best AA of all those ships. It's a tricky situation. Best AA have Kitakaze with most DPM per second, but you don't have AA defense. With Fletcher, if you want to spec for the AA, and let's say you want to instead of speed boost, you want AA defense, then this is one of the strongest in AA. And same story is with Udaloy. Udaloy on paper, you see on the AA, not crazy, only 47, but you do have AA defense if you put the speed boost, if you take away the speed boost. So I would like to say, guys, that, and Z46 is same close to Fletcher's AA power. Not bad, guys, 49. So you see 49, Fletcher's, I do believe it's 55 in AA. And it's all about continuous DPM, and same story is it with Jutland, 50. You can abuse what I'm doing right now. Let's talk about Kitakaze, right? Kitakaze's air detection is 2.9, and her AA long range, AA firing range, continuous DPM is 235. What I'm trying to say is her long range, those 4x2 100 millimeters, they are at 5.8. So from 2.9 all the way to 5.8, it takes damage to the planes. So you press P when you start the game, and when a plane are exactly within 2.9, you press O. You reinforce that and instantly kill the planes. And same story you do with Udaloy and Fletcher, and you can do with basically all of them beside Mogador, because Mogador has 2, and that's her biggest weakness. Have very hard to disengage, and her concealment by air, it's whopping 3.7, and also has been nerfed. But the rest of destroyer are not bad. They can at least defend themselves. Now something else, and it is kind of important to say, it's a risky business being at tier 9, because remember, guys, there's a lot of radar cruisers with 12 kilometers radar, and the US all have even some battleships, they have radar. I'm talking about Missouri at 10 kilometers. So you need to come within the radar range beside Kitakaze, which this has 12 kilometers torps. But the Kitakaze have such crappy reload. The chance they will be deleted by a Kitakaze torpedo are small because of this very long reload. But all the rest of destroyers, Fletcher, Z46, Udaloy, Jutland, Mogador, they all need to come within the radar range. And of course, guys, it is what it is. That's the sad part about playing a destroyer, that you can be radar if there is a lot of radar cruisers that particular. If there isn't, then you have your easy time, because because the thing is, the one who can spout you, if you're, let's say, Jutland or Fletcher, it's another destroyer with good concealment, or the aircraft carrier, you know what I mean? So that's the one who can spot you if there isn't any radar cruiser. I will go so far that all three, the Jutland, the Z46 and Fletcher, they have share the same play style. You come close, you know, you're between 6.2 kilometers from your enemy, or, you know, 7 you can do, and send those torps. Depends of if the enemy battleships are going towards you or sailing away from you, then you have to come a little bit closer. But what I'm trying to say is that you are in that range, and send those torps and get the hell out of there. That's the way you play it, you know what I mean? And something also else, it's that the Fletcher has the best smoke, and the worst smoke, it's actually Jutland, only last couple more seconds. It's more like, oh shit, so you cannot stay in the smoke and farm your enemy. That's what I'm trying to say. Which Fletcher, you can stay there, stay there forever. What I'm doing, I created a 10 torpedo wall, huge, nice, good looking wall. And the thing is, how I do it, I'm not saying where the green lines it's showing me. I send a little bit left, and the second launcher a little bit to right, so I create a huge damn wall. So even if the battleship are trying to turn left and right, he will at least eat couple torps no matter what. This is how I play it. You don't have to dev strike, but you can make sure that you know, you don't want to eat Fletcher's torps. They are too strong, too powerful, and they are too fast to dodge them. Especially if the Fletcher come within 6 kilometers, 6.5, then you're definitely toast, because the torpedo will hit the target within seconds. But overall, guys, I believe all 6 are good. It takes different kind of play style playing Mogador, which does not have smoke, but you have darn speed. Just good luck hitting this thing when you put the speed boost on. And also this ship also have most guns, so if you are let's say Fletcher or Jutland, you don't want to gunfight this thing if you don't have the smoke available, because it might eat you for lunch, breakfast and dinner. This thing has crazy amount of guns. It's literally, guys, without saying too much, improve Khabarovsk, for crying out loud. What do you mean? Well, it does lack in heal, but otherwise this thing has even more guns, even more potent salvo than the Khabarovsk. So you don't want to find a Khabarovsk. That's the thing. Why is that? You have those stupid 8 139mm guns with crazy lot of firepower. I'm talking about AP and HE. They do a lot of damage and very high percent to put you on fire. Stock 10%. Some flags and some other perks, you can have it crazy high. So what I'm trying to say, this is the last ship, this one and Kitakaze, you want to gunfight, because the strong about this Kitakaze is also her HP pool. Remember, guys, the HP pool, it's pretty significant. I'm not saying the Fletcher has a low HP pool, especially with some Captain's perk, but that's nothing versus these behemoths of Mogador and Fletcher. They have the most HP pool of all, so you cannot trade, you know, salvo versus salvo, so keep that in mind. But of course, you don't have to be worried if you're Shima or Yugomo with a very good 5.5 kilometers in stealth, because you can outspot him way earlier. However, you have very hard to disengage. You have crazy hard to disengage these behemoths. And I would like to say, guys, that's also the reason that it's a mixed bag if you want to take away Fletcher's speed boost or not, because I actually do not highly recommend this. I highly recommend you have engine boost, because if you are, oh shit, I'm too close, then what do you do? I mean, Fletcher is a good maneuverable ship, but it's not so darn fast. You kind of need to have this speed boost available, and probably same story with Udaloy. Udaloy has not a bad speed, not a crazy speed demon, but it's a huge big ship, easy to hit from almost any angle. However, the strength about this destroyer, it's her shell arcs are so strong, 950 meters per second, it will hit you even at 14 kilometers away. So that's the main. You don't want to gunfight this thing from long distance. It will always win versus you. All ships beside probably Mogador, but even the Mogador's shells are not so darn flat and easy to hit like this thing. It's very hard. I would like to say that if you are sneaky, send your lovely torps and get the hell out of there. I highly recommend Z46 and Jutland. They are extremely good ships, and I also forgot to mention that Z46 has one tool, and that's the best hydro at tier 9. You have this, also Jutland has a hydro, but this ship, the German, has much better hydro at detection. 5 kilometers detection range and torpedoes at 3.5. So how you do it, it's you pop your smoke within 5 kilometers and use your hydro and try to literally kill your enemy destroyer, because he cannot see you, but you see him, but don't come too close. You know what I mean? Jutland, it's the same story, but the Jutland has unfortunately a little bit worse. Only 3 kilometers in torpedoes and 3 kilometers in detection. You have to come way closer, and it's a big difference between 3 and 5 kilometers in ship's detection. So I would like to say they do all have different unique play style and strength, but one of their strengths of this ship, it's one, the best concealment of all tier 9 beside Yugomo. Yugomo, it's the king of concealment. And the second one, it's that you have a crazy good maneuverable, and same story, it's with Fletcher. Fletchers and Jutland have one of the best turning radius and best easiest way to avoid torpedo. It's not easy to torpedo a Fletcher if he's moving left and right. That's what I'm trying to say. But overall, guys, I highly recommend all 6 of them. They are all strong, and guys, it's up to you, but you have to have this mix of being strong, whatever your playstyle is. If you enjoy speedy demons, I believe the Mogador is the way to go. It's one heck of a fun ship to play. You can citadel every Italian cruiser left and right, do whopping damage and very high percent to put your enemy on fire. And it's kind of hard for battleship to aim at you, especially if you keep the distance, you know what I mean. But sometimes if you want to take the risk, you have to come within stupid close range to send the torps, or probably if someone are engaging you, let's say coming towards you, then you can send those torps probably even at 9 kilometers away and then get the hell out of there, you know what I mean. So yeah, so guys, very short answer. I told you every single ship that I knew, the strength, the weakness, the AA, the concealment, the torpedo power, but I enjoyed them. It's I like to go so far. The tier 9 have a unique play style, guys, and this game does not understand that you poor tier 7 destroyer, you have no chance versus all those ships, 6 ships, to win the engagement. You have too crappy of the concealment. I'm talking about tier 7s versus tier 9. They will eat you for lunch, breakfast, and this is almost like World of Tanks. You're coming in the game, you play 1 minute and you're gone in the second minute. Yeah, this is how broken the tier 9 are versus tier 7, and it shouldn't be a way. I cannot understand the word given that does not understand that a tier 7 destroyer, it's a dead meat, it's a food for a tier 9, all those 6 I mentioned, and even Traskent, for crying out loud, or even whatever it is. You have more HP pool, you have more guns, and definitely more concealment than the tier 7. The tier 7, that's the problem with them. They don't have any concealment whatsoever because they don't have this concealment module. That's the main problem with the tier 7s versus tier 9 matchmaking. I hope Wargaming changes that, because it's not fun to be being a tier 7 destroyer and facing all those strong, extremely strong ships, and then they don't have speed or range or anything else to disengage. They will just literally die. That's the problem playing with the tier 7. So I hope we're going to change the stupid matchmaker. It's actually very unfun, and very fun if you're a tier 9. It's very fun if you're playing a top dog and you just shooting left and right and kill everything and everyone because you're a powerhouse. That's what I think. And something else, and this is my final word, remember, the some destroyer are the key to victory. You cap, you make sure you are the one who's going for a target, or that battleship I want to engage, or now I go for that instead, or cap. You are the one who's actually, if you're good at this gameplay, the destroyer gameplay, can make sure that your team has a huge chance of impact by winning or losing. That's the main thing, because you definitely have the speed and the concealment to disengage and get the hell where you are needed the most. So guys, thanks guys for watching, and always captains, fair seas, and goodbye.